It's 10:35 in the morning on the 24th of December 2014. A bit of a late one, but hey. Moon's in Aquarius. Different to yesterday. Yesterday there were 5 planets in Capricorn. Now there's only 4. The Moon's now in Aquarius, and over the coming 24 hours he's approaching Mars. I like Moon conjunct Mars, especially in Aquarius. It suggests a degree of stimulus and vibrancy and futurism and hope and optimism, becoming 51%, you know? The glass is just a little bit more than half full for a lot of people. And certainly with much of the Christian world taking a break at this time over the coming 48 hours, that should make things go fairly well as far as Christendom goes. But at the same time, it's worthwhile remembering about all the people who aren't on holiday at the moment, all the medical care professionals, all the emergency services, the social workers, without whom the rest of us couldn't be enjoying a break. Nevertheless, with that Moon in Aquarius, there is a kind of humanitarian feel around the place at the moment. This doesn't disguise the fact, though, there's still a heavy-duty Capricorn influence around. And today, Mercury conjunct Pluto. Mercury's about the way you read and write and think and speak and move. It's communication at all levels, whether it's personal, mentally, or verbally, or socially. Whereas Pluto in Capricorn is very much about transformation of the collective, the idea of corporate, the idea of structure, boundary and organisation, whether it is a corporate, a government or a collective. And with Mercury conjunct Pluto, well, on the one hand, Mercury's passage over Pluto is very brief, 36 hours from almost start to finish. So it does seem that we're in a sort of pimple on top of the boil situation, and I wouldn't be surprised if over the coming 24 hours there were to be further news, revelations or developments similar to some of the sudden, sharp, incisive things that we've seen in recent weeks. Mercury Pluto is no slouch. It is not something light-hearted. It is something that does actually get right to the very core of the matter, and it cores out the poisonous heart and brings it out for exposure and elimination. Mercury Pluto can be quite ruthless, and especially as it is very strongly square Uranus at the time. I do expect today to be a day of sudden responses, sudden developments. Moon in Aquarius with a strong Mercury-Uranus square and a strong Mercury-Pluto conjunction. Whilst today's going to be pretty bouncy for most people, there's a few people out there who are going to be accident prone. 1 or 2 emergency services may well be tested. So yeah, with the Moon coming up to conjunct Mars today, be careful. And with the Mercury conjunct Pluto going on today, don't get into silly arguments, because you lose. Or if you don't lose, you'll make enemies for the long term. This is about, if you're digging up poison, if you're bringing things to the surface, both either in yourself or in other situations around you, do it in a way that is sensitive to the nuances of the situation. It's a very incisive time, and you can get to the core of a lot of crap, and you can bring it up and deal with it. But if you do it in a way that's in any way seen as being vindictive or power driven, then it's going to unleash a tidal wave of opposition and challenge, which will be very difficult, if not impossible, to deal with. Mercury conjunct Pluto, when done for the best of reasons, with the best of integrity and the best of dignity, brings a sharp, incisive and objective realism to situations based on priorities, needs versus wants versus desires. And I think with Mercury conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, square Uranus, is really amplifying yet again the clash between the need for structural reorganisation right across the whole of the social paradigm, financially, economically, politically, militarily, nationally, versus the needs of the individual and the dissolution of boundaries, both national and personal, as the internet becomes more the key. I note today, I see a report for it via the BBC this morning on how people's brain patterns, people who use a lot of iPhone technology and finger technology, touch technology, their brain patterns are changing at a strangely accelerated rate and there seems to be new patterns evolving. I wonder what that could mean. That's a subject for another time. Meantime, the moon's in Aquarius. It is futuristic, and it's going to be a pretty eventful next 24 hours, and probably, for some people, uncomfortably transparent. Catch you later. Bye.